Hi YouTube subscribers. Well, thought I would do a video today and just share a little about ego and materialism when they combine and are still together as almost one. It's what gives us chaos, and lies is truth, truth is lies, debt is money or wealth or riches, and so forth. What one needs to do is think back to how time or the experience of living would have been before material became so important. Now, when you think on this, you could take yourself very far in thought, and as long as your ego isn't there, to me, my experience is that spirit will actually guide you through that journey to go, I don't call it back in time, but it's only to travel with truth, kind of. It's like the truth train, call it. To me, I believe spirit believed ego once, and that was a bad thing, because ego is corruptible, and ego can believe a lie. Spirit cannot. And as I've mentioned in an earlier video, ego it stands at the door that separates spirit from this material realm. And it's always trying to push things through that doorway. And what I see is one time it did get through. And that time was where celebration of, let's call them event horizons, that which we know to be true together, that ego or opinion or assumption cannot deviate it from what it is, because it is what it is. It cannot be anything other than it is. Our problem as an ego is egos invent false purpose. They work for gain, more, wants. There's so many things that ego wants, and spirit wants nothing to do with those things, because it accepted once from ego, once, and now it's shut the door on ego. But ego still knocks and it pushes stuff, but some egos now are running around with false purpose and such, and they're not really, I don't consider them alive in spirit. I would venture to say that spirit would not come to them. It would actually run from them. This is how I see with people that are more ego than spirit. It's like they're like somebody who has a bad cold. If you go around somebody who has a really, really bad cold and you're not protected from that, you can catch their ignorance. And it's the ignorance that gets into the ego, but it doesn't get into your spirit. But when people believe they are more ego and the shell that we are, the cocoon, I guess, in a sense, it's like the ego is a caterpillar, and our experience is to build that cocoon. Now, spirit knows the truth and knows what makes that cocoon, and it will not allow anything to be placed in it that would debase it or hurt it. As it's growing in truth, you can't see in lies there is truth, and in truth there is no lie. You have to realize this. There are so many simple truths that can free you from so much, but to be free isn't to be wealthy and material, and people or egos have this all wrong. People want from ego. They don't want from spirit, because they want to validate that what they push through the door that one time, that it is true in some way. And that's debate, strife, and the struggle that we have. And that's why we have so much chaos. But there are those who take advantage of that, who in flesh, uh, they understand what's beyond, and they're corrupting this planet where really spirit is closest to to flesh, away from animal and plants and other living entities, which don't truly have a personality, like a real personality. They have quirks and so forth, and different ways to react, and it's just through experience. But they don't debate things because everything is cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. Now, ego interferes with cause and effect. That is what chaos is, and that's what we fight today. You know, materialism. Now, if you take yourself back and think about how life would have been, or you have to know that this is how it was, because if you go into looking into it, it's really, it becomes opinion and assumption, and there's variables that come into it, and it just makes it impossible for you to find the truth because you've complicated something that is simple to begin with. Now, if we were living in a time before we needed material to amuse our ego, and we found enjoyment in even our reflection, you see stories from the past that spirit has written and ego can't comprehend, but it's hidden there, and spirit, it sings in it. It's like something that it just gives you a feeling over your body, but you're thinking it's your ego, but it's not. It's your spirit. Now, material can't really give you that feeling. It gives you a false sense of that, and we see what is going on with inventions that they'll hook up to your ear, and it simulates feelings that give you pleasure, and it's really just replacing that emotion and feelings where you love somebody and someone loves you, and you know in your heart it to be truth, and your spirit knows, and it rejoices in that. But material can kind of give you that simulated feeling too, where that love, and you think the thing that you've traded your riches and wealth and you toil for loves you back. It can't. Material can't love you back, so there's nothing coming. And so many people are so much ego and so little spirit that the egos who invent false purpose are out there building machines and everything else that can replace what comes to us free through nature. And this is our struggle, and it's silly because at the top of it all are just egos that have false purpose and false belief that they hold true, and they're not even knocking at the door, because what's behind the door now is nothing. It's the action and intent that will come, or their action, and with the intent, what will come from that is what we're seeing and what we're experiencing. But when you realize that you aren't truly the flesh, you aren't the shell, you are not the emotions, you are not the experience, but you are the truth that rests behind it. And you have to get all the lies out of yourself, because if people think they want to go to heaven, and it's like at airports they check your luggage for stuff. Do you think in heaven they're going to let you walk through with lies? If people just can't grasp simple things, because egos complicate things, and egos love chaos, because in chaos they live, because there's so many personalities, so many egos, so many things to value, and one is worth more, and good and evil. And many will understand, but will not act upon it. Those who would come to truth because they, for fear or for anything that isn't actually love, you aren't really at it. You get to fiat, like it's almost like a fiat heaven. So you must realize, in the beginning, we were not attracted to material. Once we were, our daily work went from to eat and to be protected and to protect and to ensure that we could celebrate, not ceremony, but celebrate the event horizons. One is coming. Prepare. Be with truth. Thank you. Bless you all. Peace, life, lights, but more importantly, truth. And all three of those are truth.